Good afternoon. It is October 27th, and today I haven't made a video in a while. The garden looks totally different. It's actually kind of sad. I miss all the greens and the colors and everything. So I'm gonna go around and show what's left, which isn't much. We've got this little flower over here. It's just the leaves are still there. We haven't seen the flower. We were attempting to save some of our plants, which we actually did with tarps. We tarped a lot of the beds, but it started just, every time we did it, it got windy, and so finally we just went ahead and got what we could and just kind of let nature take its course, and kind of just died it back in place, which is where some of these, like these sweet potatoes, we came out and we actually got sweet potatoes. We didn't get a whole lot, but we got enough for one sweet potato casserole, which I went ahead and processed all the sweet potatoes, and I gotta clean up that bed. I went ahead and processed all the sweet potatoes and made it into a sweet potato casserole and froze it. So that'll be ready for a side dish for a meal, but that's what's left. We kind of just, like I said, let whatever was there kind of die back in place. And it's really sad because before that, this was a beautiful bed. It was purple and flowers, but our onions that we were not sure of what was going to happen. I'm sure these aren't going to get too big, but they look really good. So they're green, they're still standing up, they look pretty good. So until it's time, then we'll take them out, but for now we're going to leave them. Over here, I don't know where my raspberry little plant went. I'm sure it's in here somewhere. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of gone. I'm not sure what happened. But anyway, the plant that you do see lie back there, that's actually the strawberry plant. And whatever this was, sunrose or something. It's a strawberry. So sunrose is what's still left, but the strawberry is hanging in there. Tomatoes, we pulled all those up, and I actually made I canned a jar, or I jarred, I should say canned, whatever, in jars. I got 13.5 quarts of my tomato, onion, garlic base that I made up. I got 3 jars of and these are all quarts, so 3 quart size jars of tomato juice, and I experimented and removed all the skins off of the tomatoes, because they were all frozen, and they took them out and the skins came off so nicely, and I put those in the dehydrator, and I'm going to powder them to see if maybe I can get some tomato powder and use it for reconstituting back into tomato paste or flavoring. So that'll be good. So that you can see, that's all gone. We have carrots. Carrots is one of ours. Other thing that we are that's still growing and doing well. I also have other tomatoes I have to jar it with. Those were just the Roma and the Italian Napoli tomatoes, but other than that, I still have quite a few tomatoes to do stuff with. Our green peppers, we came out here the night before. We had a couple different light frost I should say, or watching in. We came out here the night before and got as many peppers as possible off of these plants. Some of them were so small we just left them on there, but these were gone, and they still look good, like still green. I mean, even though the leaves are all dead and there's no flowers or blooms or anything, I mean, it's crazy. It's still very much green. And we've got some other plants, like our lavender over there is doing good. We got romaine lettuce. It's not really growing, but it's not dying. I don't know what's going on, but just kind of keep an eye on that. And this bed was our okra. Same thing. That same night we came out and got everything we could out of the garden. And that's when we just stopped tarping everything, because it was like, well, and these are cold weather plants, so they can tolerate a little bit of cold and frost, but not a heavy frost. We don't know what this is. This is a random, I don't know, field cabbage or something. It's just wild cabbage. It kind of grew up. So, don't know what that is. We actually moved that from another bed because we didn't know what it was. But we'll see. Let's see. More carrots. And what looks like to us, we're not really sure what this is. It was kind of looking like it might be a Brussels sprout, but I'm not sure. It's just kind of right there. And we did plant some in this bed, so that might be one of the lone survivors. But these are all our carrots. And we got more onions. I took all the shallots out too that we had, and we got some really good shallots, so I got pictures of all that. So eventually I'll share all that when I have time. I have not had time lately. So these are all our broccoli and Brussels sprouts, minus this one over here, and maybe that one. Might just be slow, but those look pretty good. So that's pretty much what's left of the garden. We got yarrow still kicking in. Everything else is pretty much tick seed still thriving. But everything it's so different. It's so sad. Like we were talking about how it just looks so different, and it just doesn't look as lively out here. It's all brown and little pops of green, but it's kind of sad. But we are going to, hopefully, our goal, I don't know whether we'll be able to do it this year, next year, but we would like to double the garden. And I'm going to plant some other stuff that I'm really interested in planting, some more different kinds of peppers, and I want to expand tomatoes. We want to have sweet potatoes are good. We didn't expect to get very many, and we actually, as we were digging around, we were coming across really small sweet potatoes, and we were like, there's no way. And then we got, lo and behold, it was like a over 2 pound potato. It was just one, but it was, I'm thankful. So now I'm just been processing and canning and freezing and chopping, just all the things with the food that I've been doing. So just been busy trying to actually convert all our food over to food that can be used in recipes. And I also dehydrated a lot of our peppers, our habaneros, Carolina Reapers. They're all dehydrated into powders, except for jalapenos. Some of those I haven't decided if I thought I was gonna powder them. I haven't decided yet if I'm gonna powder the jalapenos, because that's actually the one that we'll eat on food. But we have powders that we're gonna use in foods, and I'm pretty excited. Before this year, I knew nothing about really how to preserve food aside from freezing and canning and dehydrating. But I didn't know all the different things you could do with, like, tomato skins. I hate food waste, and I'm an advocate of saving whatever food you can. And we don't have chickens yet, so until then, I gotta try to find ways to use food waste. Like, I took all the food scraps from other foods I've processed, like onions I bought that were in really good clean shape, all their peels, all the carrot peels, all the celery and stuff that we didn't plant that I bought organic of. I actually am using those food scraps, and I have those in the freezer saved for when I make my broths, different broths that I'm gonna make. So trying to come up with different ways. So yeah, it's just sad. There's just green and brown, and there's a little hints of color, like the yarrow was kind of purple and pinkish color, and this lavender it's still hanging in. Still hanging in there. So anyway, that's my garden video. Kind of the close of the garden this year. So I haven't really had time to come out here and... Oh, that sun looks really interesting. It had like a beam. Very cool. Very cool. How it's like beaming down. Very, very cool. But anyway, that's our garden. 2022 was very successful. I'm very happy with everything that we got. We had some failures and some successes, and we have some things still growing, so hopefully we'll be able to get the rest of this food grown, and then we'll figure out what to do for winterizing into the soil and plan for the next garden season. So there you go, everybody. God is good. I hope everybody has a blessed day, and everybody take care. Oh, look at Eddie the Eagle. He's hanging out. He looks like that beam's on him. Kind of cool. All right, folks. Have a good evening, or day, I should say.